Isn't that chair brilliant? Look at that. Chair shaped like a hand. They're all over this room. Just brilliant stuff. Now, I'm enjoying being in Setchebel so much and being in this lovely lounge that I thought I'd do another song description with the same hat on. Yes, let's just get this out of the way. Ket is already saying I need to get some more hats. I know I do, but this is my holiday hat for now and I enjoy wearing it. So just have to put up with it. Those that hate this hat. And I know there are a lot of people that hate this hat. Anyway, on to the good stuff. So this is chapter 4 of song descriptions from the First Lookout mini album, and we're now on to a track called Throw It Away. This song has been on my phone for a long time. It was potentially going to be a Wayward Sons song, but it didn't quite fit. Now, why didn't it quite fit? Well, I think it was because it was and is a very much a kind of Toby odd riff song, and there's lots of those. There's plenty of those in the Wayward Sons tracks, as I'm sure you might think that. I certainly do. But it didn't seem to fit, and I had it on a list when we were working on the last album as a very early embryonic idea, but I couldn't make it sit together. But I do really like this idea, and it was one of the first ideas that I presented to Dave Kemp when we were talking about making this solo record, and he wasn't initially that enamoured by it, or certainly felt it was potentially wasn't going to be up there with the rest of them. But it has grown in stature in time, and I've learned this over the years, that you can't give up on things, you can't give up on ideas if they've got themselves under your skin. And I certainly think this riff, the main riff, got under my skin from a very early Doors point of view, and I couldn't get rid of it. And so to me, I've learned through the experience of this over the years, right from the early days of Little Angels, that if something feels like that, you've got to go with it. You can't just ignore it. You have to let it be what it is and don't fight it. I've mentioned this many times before. It's about learning to just let the idea lead you rather than you lead the idea. Try and keep it as intact as possible. So that's what I did with this idea. Now, what I do really like about this song is the way that the chorus changes the atmosphere. So you get, on the one hand, quite a dark, quite brooding verse that's quite jagged, and then the chorus opens up and gives you a sort of light and shade thing, you know. Now, it's a simple enough message, and it really is kind of, in many ways, it's one of the most pointed, most direct messages of this whole record, is that it talks about it's easy to get wrapped up in imposter syndrome as an artist, which can then often lead to this sense of self-destruct, this want to self-destruct. And I've come across this many times in my life, where lots of artists who are so fantastic at what they do, but really don't understand the depth of what it is that they have, and can't understand why people like it, or they themselves find it hard to understand how they can take it forward. And so quite often what happens is a kind of self-destruct mode. I think this happens in every kind of art form. I think it's because it can be very painful to create art, and something that's almost very confusing. But I've sort of learned over the years that, because I don't believe I'm bringing anything particularly special or new to the art world, I'm hoping I'm joining the conversation with something relevant, but I know that I'm not, I know I'm not this kind of unique, sort of special songwriter. I just have my way of doing things, and I've kind of recognized that over time, that okay, I might not be the best in the world, I might certainly not be as innovative or as barnstormingly individual and inventive as some others, but what I do have, I know that I know where my skills lie, if you like. So this message is, no matter what I've been through, because it all connects back to the mental health issues I've been through in recent years, and how this record relates to all of that. But this is me almost coming out, it's me coming out the other side of all that and saying, look, I recognise the good stuff that I do have, and I won't be one of those people that throws it all away down the toilet and forgets about it, and then probably lives the rest of your life in torment. Like I say, I might not be the most original artist of all time, but I know what I do, and I feel blessed and privileged that I can do that, and I want to keep giving it one way or another, whether it's through music, whether it's through my writing, whether it's through anything else that I'm doing, the filmmaking stuff, etc. So it's a simple enough message. I won't be the one who takes everything I've done and throws it away. And it was a track that once we'd finished doing the backing track in the studio, I wasn't convinced about it, I got to be honest. I thought, I don't know whether we've got this or not. But over time, it's grown in stature, like I say. And I've worked on it, and I've edited it, and we've done more overdubbing, and I've been very careful to sort of bring the production up to standard. And it really came into its own when I started working on the backing vocals, and I got a master vocal on it. So I'm very pleased about it, and I sort of brought my inner queen to bear on this track. So and you know how much I love them, their majesties. So brilliant. Really chuffed that it's managed to sort of come from the back of the pack, because that often is what happens with some of these songs. The ones that you think are the worst, or the ones that aren't, not the worst, or the ones that aren't making it to grade, perhaps sometimes, often they can come from the back to the front, and I do think that's kind of happened a little bit with this song. So and again, I really hope you like it, and it's one of the more rockier tracks on this first record. Hope you like it. Cheers.
'Cause I won't be the one who takes everything I've done and throw it away.